day, in Greenworld or LA, there was Thomas, talking to some other engines at the harbor. He was telling some of the younger engines about his trip to the mainland. They were delighted and fascinated to hear such a story. "Thomas," they asked, "can we please have some more?" Thomas then started another story. "Well, little engines," but then James came in. "Thomas, what are these young engines doing here?" "Well, James, if you must know, I'm telling these little engines about my trip to the mainland." "Rubbish! Get out of here, little engines. He's just telling a make-believe story." "We thought you were cool, Thomas. Let's go." No, wait! Dang it, James. Why can't you just let me have my fun? Because you are a silly engine like those ones. I'll scream out of here too. Fine, I will. Stupid James and stupid face, stupid ugly. Percy was waiting for Thomas at the docks. "Hi, Thomas." "Hi, Percy. So, what's that sign for?" "Thomas, don't you know? It says danger. Do not cross board." "But there's no danger here, Percy," said Thomas. "I get that, but there might be something we don't see." "Whatever. I'll be back later, Percy. See you." "Okay, Thomas. Bye for now." Thomas collected some trucks to bring to the docks, but then he had a plan. "Trucks, will you please push me past the board once I get to the docks? That way I can show Percy there's no danger there." The trucks laughed and giggled about the plan. Thomas didn't really care if they caused any trouble, only when it was to be past the board, but he had to stop at a signal. Then Diesel rolled up. "Hey Thomas, what's going on?" "Not much, Diesel. I'm just waiting at a signal. I'm going to the docks later. Trucks are going to push me past the board." Diesel was confused. "But Thomas, isn't there danger there?" "Not you too, Diesel. Whatever. I'm just gonna go do my own plan, and you cannot stop me." "Thomas is gonna regret that," Diesel whispered to himself. Thomas's plan had come into fruition. The trucks laughed. "Go on! Go on! Go on!" they yelled. Thomas was pleased to see they had passed the board, but Thomas went too far. "Wait! Not this far! No! Ah!" Diesel had come to see what happened. "Thomas, I warned you about this." James then came up too and started to laugh at Thomas. Thomas felt ashamed. Soon, it was nighttime, and Thomas was still in the water. Thomas's wheels felt cold. Soon, however, a rescue operation started. Diesel pulled away his trucks, and Thomas soon started to be slowly pulled out of the water. The two little engines who Thomas had told the story to pulled him out. Thomas's friend was there, and she was severely disappointed in him. James felt bad for Thomas, so he offered to push Thomas to the washdown. His friend agreed. Some of Thomas's dirt had fallen off of him by this point, but he was still very dirty. James didn't admit it at that moment, but Thomas knew that James was sorry. That's the end of our story, however. If you want to see more, let me know.